Me the day I graduated high school. What am I doing there? Is that the same photo booth as this? That's Grandma Minium. Grandma Bell. There's Terry. Mike. Me. Terry. Mike, Tim, and Lee. And me. This is the ghost town in Utah. Back in 2012. Terry was driving by then, so I might have been 14 or 15. His mom, Grandma and Grandpa Minium, Mom's parents. Look at that picture. I've lived with them for 2 years. Charlie Minium, Chuck Minium, and Mildred. Goldie, Harry, Chapman Preen, Harry Day, Dave Weimer, Dan the Hills, Brett Chad, Brad Brewster, the Cab, and Andrew Basagio. I made that down in Chapman Preen. Notice Mike is on there. Dad, I knew Dad's number. Terry, I know their number. Mike's not on there. By the way, but Mark's fault was Velda's. Mark told me that he hasn't seen Velda in a couple of years. I'm already here in Arizona because of Velda. Remember, Dad? Yeah. Remember? I signed a contract. I called 911 and talked to Sergeant Whipple to get me out of there with my old cell phone. My phone pad, I couldn't sit down anywhere. It's called a hoarder. Piles of wine bottles everywhere, gallon bottles. This is on TV. On my smart TV. My Chromebook, I restarted that yesterday, or just a couple minutes ago. Every time it restarts, every time it restarts, YouTube changes and logs and change. Truth or dare salvation. Thomas Lee Bell, 1003 East 2nd Street, Winslow. I hate Winslow. This is the ugliest city I've ever seen. Big tree around here is about this big around, 9 inches. That's a big tree. Back east, there's big walnut and oak trees and maple trees. Jeez. My car is down at the Golden Inn. Most of my clothes are there. And that's down in Holbrook. About 150 yards from Howard Johnson's in Holbrook. Earl and I went there one time. I took pictures of Howard Johnson's. Had big seat out front. Big rocking chair. Pyramid Zen Society. Dave Weimer. Kent State. Mr. Rose. Transmission Rose. Transmission Mr. Rose. Richard Rose. He lives in Moundsville, West Virginia. Same place that the murderer, Charlie, what's his name? the Harry Christmas. Charlie Mansfield. That's where he went at first. Back in the late 60s, Mr. Rose was trying to establish a community of like-minded people. Had a meeting with 3 people at a restaurant somewhere in Moundsville. Signed a 99-year contract. Next time I saw them, their heads were shaved, except a little thing come out the back. They were Christianites on 500 acres of land in Moundsville, West Virginia. And they took all the money that they begged the airports and stuff for years. They're hardy Christians. And they built the Palace of Gold on his property, Mr. Rose's property. Back in June 21st, I was in Warren, PA. I just left Dave Armour's house. Me and Dave and Al Rouse live on 54 Charlotte Street. And there's Mr. Rose at the Warren Life Center with my dog Buddha at his feet. And the lady picked up Buddha. She goes, he wants to be human. Buddha. B-U-D-D-A. And I love Pop. But that blood pressure monitor in that box, that's from SD Windows. I don't know how I picked that up. That's heavy. And Mr. Rose died about 20 years ago of Alzheimer's. It's like Grandma Hall, Crawford, Bell, Lynn. Remember Grandpa? You know, I finally remember why I started stuttering. We're at Grandma's house on Beck Avenue, about 4 or 5 years old. I was sitting in a chair that went around. She had a radiator right behind the chair. And there's a basement, and people lived upstairs. I live a block away from Beck Avenue. I walked right by the house a couple times, many times. And Mom and Dad were arguing in the kitchen. Grandma had placed it around the ceiling. I went, oh! That's when I started stuttering. I was trying to stop them from arguing. I was trying to yell at them. I was too young to yell at my parents, so I went, oh! That's when I started stuttering. Right then. I was about 4 years old. I remember being in Aunt Sherry's and Doug's house. Doug shooting a bow and arrow, and watching Mark and Carly go to school. Probably Mark kindergarten or first grade, and Carla second or third. You know, happened all the stuff at Grandma at their house. That chest that we sit on, the glass table, all that antiques, the salt and pepper shakers that were 1,000 years old, 100-year-old plates. Dude, where did that stuff go? Hope somewhere, not like Harry David. David blew everything from Grandma Hall's death. Got $1,000. She was worth millions of dollars. I guarantee it. Because that Crawford guy, he owned a city east Salem, near Unity, Ohio, about 10 miles east, about 12 miles from the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio. He owned that, and she inherited that. He was senile. Remember him? We say, hey, Grandpa, you're babbling, and he died. She inherited all that money. She's down in Fort Lauderdale. She met Lynn Hall. And then they moved to Page, Arizona. And Mark lived down Miami and stayed at the Fontainebleau Hotel. And I remember being there with Carla and Mark and Terry and Mike. We dropped an empty Wise potato chip bag full of water out the balcony onto a car below. They were playing Ouija board. Terry and Carla, me. I was test that since. Remember that? We used to play Ouija board. Remember, Tim's room was Terry's room. Terry's room was a den. 3005 Nine Hill Drive. That was a den. Then Tim came along. Terry moved down to the den. Tim had the middle room. Mike and I had bunk beds. Built model rockets in that room, comic books, and had fun. Stillers and Mayberries, the Towers, the Weavers, the Bisers, the Ogles, the Careys, Mill, Amadons, Bill, Lauren Bill. Who lived in the Milan Division's house before they did? I don't remember. Papalardo, Grady, and the Zeems, Schurz, and the Valchef. I watched them build the Valchef's house. So they were the only people I ever lived there. And they hate Deborah Helly, the Hellys. I watched them build the Helly's house. I remember being about 4 years old, being in our backyard, bringing Mom a bunch of violets. So that's probably my favorite color, kind of like a violet blue. It's hard to say blue or violet. And Wolfgang, Buddha, Fluffy, Honey, Farmer's Field, Stills, Surcrises, Zaffrans, Naces, John Scott, John Wells, the Tracys, Tim Hogel, the Johnses, the Nelsons lived down there for a while, right beside the Johnsons. Then they moved on Tournament Road, near Beaver Braid, near the municipal building. Yeah. What time? Probably, you would believe this. At the time is 1972 when I stayed there for a month when McGovern was being elected. It must have been either then or 1975 when I was going to Kent. I walked up the stairs. There's Grandma Minium in the bathroom. A bottle of wine, chugging it, smoking a cigarette, leaning out this bathroom window. That smelly, dirty, nasty bathroom. Because they didn't have enough water. The well sucked. I never drank that water. But they did. But she would lean out the bathroom, smoking a cigarette, and drinking and chugging a bottle of wine from the store, I guess. I was cracking up. Back then, once in a while, I go out and get a 6-pack, get a bag of ice somewhere in a trash bag, put it in a trash can to keep it cold. But I didn't drink much back then. I didn't. In high school, I didn't drink. For certain, I was a pledge in Phi Sigma Kappa, Phi Sigma Alpha. I won the ping pong championship, fraternity ping pong championship. I beat everybody. I beat Lester champion on the second round. They were like, "Whoa!" Dang, I was so fed up that play, I quit. I dropped out. I didn't want to be brothers. But I was sitting there. I heard this soon, oh soon. It hit me. I just seen yes. A couple of months before, with Johnny Banco at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. I was sitting in that fraternity house,